2 years is not a joke. It's a long time, especially if we're gonna talk about tech. Most of us changes our devices once every few years, whether it's outdated or finally had given up. So in this video, we're gonna look at what has changed with my ASUS TUF F15 and check if it's still worth buying this 2025 or am I regretting now. So let's talk about all the good stuff and what had gone terribly bad on my ASUS TUF F15 after 2 years. This laptop ASUS TUF F15 had its ups and downs. On quantitative size, there's a lot of small goodness which we'll talk about in a second, but in equivalent to all of those combined small positive stuff, there's this huge thing where it gone terribly bad. But for now, let's check what has changed starting from the physical stuff. There are a few scratches, yes, you can blame that on me, but everything else is still all good. Keyboard backlit still lighting bright, all ports still working fine. The laptop hinge is still okay as well. This is actually one of the parts of this laptop that people are worried about. The build quality is still sturdy, although they are common flexing problems that had been present ever since, and the screen has some faint mild backlight bleed on the lower right, which appeared after right about 2-year mark, but it's just a common thing given the time frame, and I intentionally intend to look at it, but to be honest, it's not really noticeable. So this is just the boring part. Everything still works as it needs to be. Same as well for this next area, which is performance. The Intel i5-11400H processor and RTX 3050 is still powerful and still delivers extreme performance, especially on gaming. You could say that the 144Hz refresh rate on this laptop is not wasted. But to make this special review better, let's test the current gaming performance of this ASUS TUF F15 by playing some commonly played games to check if it can handle some of these modern games. But don't worry if the game that you are anticipating isn't here, because I'm also going to be doing a full in-depth gaming test for this laptop with all of my games in my gaming library. For now, let's start with Fortnite. This laptop is averaging around 135 FPS on max and low settings. The temperature plays around 89 degrees Celsius on this elevated standard laptop cooler setup, and this can definitely go for higher FPS, but I just prefer my current settings right now. As for Valorant, it easily gets the 144 FPS cap on max plus low settings as well. The temperatures are a bit lower, which plays around 85 degrees Celsius on the same setup. And lastly, for Apex Legends, I had to tweak a lot of settings to hit the 144 FPS cap, and we managed to do that, but this is on a complicated mix of high, mid, and low settings. Again, if you know how I do these things, FPS matters a lot for me. The temperature is around 87 degrees Celsius, which is still quite decent on this setup. Again, you have to remember that these 3 specific tests are intentional. I reverted some of the settings that I made for optimizing and enhancing the FPS and thermals before on this laptop to get it as close as its initial default or stock scenario, just like when I first had it. But again, don't worry, there's gonna be a full dedicated gaming test with various games being tested. So for the temperatures, I would say it's definitely fine. The only concerning thing is the spiking 90 to 95 degrees Celsius when I first bought it, which is quite normal because I haven't optimized it yet. But if you watch some of my videos, for sure you know that it was quickly fixed by my series of tips that I made on enhancing performance and stabilizing the thermals of this laptop. It did also undergo thermal paste replacement and undervolting, which both help, but to be honest, I don't really have to do those things. It's just a demo for my viewers and test if it does really help. But I would say the huge thing that really helped my thermals and what I would recommend as well, especially if you don't want to go through this technical stuff, is to get a laptop cooler. It's definitely a good long-term investment for laptop owners. The standard cooler that I have is what actually help on normal tasks like 1080p video editing and couple hours of gaming. This is enough already, but if you want to take it on the next level, you can go for a turbo cooler just like this. That actually what made this laptop extremely cool with consistent FPS without any decreased performance during gaming for long hours and heavy 4K video editing with multitasking. But now let's talk about the sad part, battery life. It noticeably decreased over the time, and if you've seen some of my videos again, you might have already witnessed the changes on the battery life ever since the first video and my last 18 months review. But it's not much of a problem if it's only on a desk setup just like mine, and to be honest, it's already expected that the gaming laptops has fewer battery life as some of its parts needs an incredible amount of power just like the GPU. But if we're gonna look on another perspective, which is using this outdoors or remotely, this is clearly not the best choice. As I stated before, with strict usage, just like mine, 1 hour and 15 minutes of writing something is its best. Yeah, it still works, but watching a long series or video editing on battery mode, that's not possible. Given the decreased performance when not plugged in and faster battery drain due to intensive tasks on battery mode, especially if it's not optimized or you haven't applied some of necessary adjustment from my guides, it definitely won't make it. So if that's a huge deal breaker for you despite its monstrous performance on gaming, editing, and rendering, and if you're having second thoughts, then probably this might not be the best choice for your use case scenario. After 2 years as well, I noticed that it would be nice to have some important features like fingerprint system. Also, even though the given ports of this laptop is decent, it would be nice if this would have an SD card reader because why not? I noticed how empty the right side of this gaming laptop, so I think it wouldn't hurt at all. Regarding some of its features, there are people who's not fan of Armory Crate and deeply hates it, but for this review, I think it's still best to focus on the kit included with this laptop, and Armory Crate is part of that, and it's actually essential to use right out of the box or if it's the first time. But all I can say is it works fine. There might be some lacking features like complete control on fan speed, but it's not really bad. Also, the My ASUS application as well works as intended. This is where you limit the charging capacity of your laptop. It also does scan and fix internal problems, not completely, but it tells you what to do. So both of these are decent built-in command centers that I still use on this laptop after 2 years. But let's change the tone of this review and talk about the most terrible thing that happened to my ASUS TUF F15. Actually, two of them and they're kind of related. First is the Wi-Fi disconnection issue. I've mentioned this before in my few early videos, and again, if you already watched some, you already know that I permanently fixed it before. But around September 2024, it came back when I updated my Windows version, which I thought I would be safe already as long time had already passed and there's no visible hints that indicates that the problem would be coming back again. And yeah, the problem did not just came back, but it actually gone worse. Before, you can just tweak things on Device Manager and it should be good. But now, I can't fix it on a controlled manner. I'm gonna do an update video on this because I'm planning to document on how I fix it. The second problem as well is just the same, which is the Bluetooth. It also disconnects similarly but less often. I'm actually thinking both of these are causing each other's problems. If not, I think this has something to do with power consumption or amount of ports connected to my laptop. Again, I'm not sure, so for now, if you're planning to get this, it's up to you if you would let this affect your decision. This is just my transparency on my experience, and I might just be unlucky encountering this again. So, after 2 years with ASUS TUF F15, it's love and hate, you know. I like almost everything. I don't have any serious problems with it. I'm satisfied with specs, features, and performance considering the cost. It's just this current issue of Wi-Fi and Bluetooth what kinds of brings the hate, because it's an important part of the laptop itself. So for now, I don't really have any serious regrets. I just wish I chose another stock of this laptop that might not have the current issue that I have. But I think in terms of what I paid for, it's fair. All the fun that I had on having consistent high FPS on games and good video editing runs without much any performance issues and fluid multitasking performance while studying and stuff. It's a decent experience for me. So, is it worth buying this 2025? For the context, I got mine around 1,100 US dollars, including the upgrades at the time when I bought it. But right now, it's cheap and only getting cheaper in the future. If you want to check it out, I do have an updated links for good ASUS TUF F15 deals in the description. So if you want an affordable or actually close to win gaming laptop, this is one of the best and well-priced laptop you could get. That's why it's one of the highest sold gaming laptops for the last few years and up until now. The TUF series is indeed still popular. This exact year model, which is the 2021 version, still offers one of the best value RTX 2050 variant gaming laptops. So if you want to go way more cheaper with still good performance, that is your best choice. But if you want newer features, you can check out the 2023 or 2024 models, but that might cost you more and that's gonna be inefficient if there's a better value already. And you know, as I always say, you don't have to follow the trend on what's the latest specs if you don't need the powerhouse that those laptops give. These specs that I have and models still gives the output that I expected it to be with its specs and cost, even if newer games, applications, and softwares are being released. So I hope this video had been helpful to you. Drop a like if you enjoyed watching this and make sure to subscribe. Again, Hermes here. Thanks for watching and catch you guys on the next one.